warning officials that they can see this kid on this roof. There are Secret Service snipers with trained sights on him who've seen him, but he still gets off at least 8 bullets. None of this makes any sense to me. I'm not a conspiracy theorist until I believe there's a theory that can be proven, but none of this makes any sense. Right. How did this happen?
So there you have it. He says, I'm not a conspiracy theorist until there's a theory that can be proven. Mm-hmm. So it's like acknowledging, wait, like just because it's a theory about a conspiracy doesn't mean it's false. It means it's a theory that might end up being true.
Absolutely. I really feel like this really opened the door on a lot of conspiracy talk. I know this was such a horrible, tragic thing, but it really, if there's a silver lining, it has opened the door for all sides to talk about theories.
I hope so, because, that could be one possible outcome of the situation. But the other thing could be that everyone's just a big bunch of fucking hypocrites. Because
I think that's definitely true no matter what. Of the vast majority, yeah.
Because one thing that I find extremely interesting about the subject, Alex Jones is someone who is impossible to ignore if you've done any research into any conspiracy theories, and you'll happen to know that it seems as if they are trying to take him down. And when I say they, I mean the government, the victims of Sandy Hook, anyone and everyone related to the situation is taking him down. I mean, the consequences that he's facing for questioning the incidents of Sandy Hook, it's so starkly contrasted to me to the nonchalant way that most of our country is going on about conspiracy theories right now. Like, I heard a poll that 40% of America believes that it was staged. And I just want to ask, anyone who thinks that the Trump event was staged, I encourage you to question it. I encourage everyone to question things, as we've been discussing.
Yeah, and as everybody is. I mean, we still don't have any definite answers on
how did this happen?
How
and why did a lot of these things get allowed to be the way that they were? But also, I would just question, if you are questioning whether or not this was staged, do you have any empathy for Alex Jones for having questioned a previous incident? Forget the incident, any tragic incident, no matter what it is.
Any event.
Merely questioning it. Should we not all be able to do that without facing the kind of persecution that Alex Jones is facing? There's consequences to our words, but at what point does questioning something transfer over into an actual action? And what actual actions did Alex Jones take? I'm not even trying to, make any specific commentary about any specific event, or even Alex Jones definitively in any of the stances that he's taken. I'm just saying overall,
as a U.S. citizen, should we be able to question any occurrence?
Correct. It's a matter of free speech. And ultimately, if we're really going to conspiracy theorize here in Conspiracy Update Podcast, or thought theory, or whatever one of the terms that we were thinking
catchy,
of.
Though.
Hashtag conspiracy awareness. I feel like, a lot of people on the left are coming up with theories that it was staged by the right, and a lot of people on the right are coming up with theories that this was some kind of deep state left operation. And I in my mind, I consider all possibilities, and I approach it from every angle, and it really feels, I don't have any specific theory about how this happened or who's behind it or any of it is really about. I really don't. Honestly, at this point, there's too many question marks.
Same.
But I feel like to do this tribalist, I've been really, for a while now, going in this direction of independent thinking, not thinking in a tribal, me versus you kind of way, or which side are you on, or because I think people get so stuck in that, and they're so ready to just point fingers to the other side, and it's
always has
you're
been
inciting
that way,
violence, you're inciting violence, you're inciting violence, your party's the one inciting violence.
I fully agree, and that's the issue. That is the major issue.
Yeah, and I feel like ultimately, if we're really going to theorize about, a deep state or some kind of conspiracy going on in any kind of situation, like, really, ultimately, it could be a nonpartisan, like, ultra mega super conspiracy where all of these people are reporting to the same deep state or they're puppets or they're surface people and they don't know what's really going on underneath.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, I think the powers that be are the powers that be, and it's kind of like a nonpartisan situation, and the left and the right is used as a tool to divide the people. Like,
absolutely,
they keep us battling each other.
Yeah, that's not
while
anything
they have
new, though.
A consistent agenda. Like, they have
Fully
some
agree.
kind of consistent agenda, and they give us the illusion of power so that we battle with each other over weird topics, while they know what they're going to do in the long run anyways.
Absolutely.
So,
that's not a crazy like out there thought. I don't think I'm fully on board with that.
And I wouldn't say that anything we're discussing today was necessarily staged or conspiratorial, but I do think a lot of events are big, like, clown world circus stage events. I wouldn't really be surprised if this were the case for many events that take place because of how much evidence we have from history that prove these kinds of conspiracies really do take place. And power corrupts, as we've known since ancient times. So nothing new here, but
Nope. I do have a thought. What about this thought? What if this whole thing, let's say all the people who are saying this is staged, blah, 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 blah. If it was staged, it seems very, very sloppy to be, like, fully staged. Unless, of course,
like,
they were
why couldn't she get her gun in the holster?
It just was all, it was all very sloppy. I feel like if it were staged, like fully staged, then it would have been a little bit more buttoned up. Maybe, I don't know.
Or maybe they wanted it to look sloppy so it didn't look staged.
So, yeah. So if it was staged and they did want it to be sloppy, maybe it was to distract us from something that's even bigger.
Right. Right. And that's where I'm not even going into any of that today because I just think it's important.
I have no idea what the bigger could be.
Right.
But just a thought.
I mean, I want to know, and I have ideas. I just don't want to necessarily put them out right now, and I think what's more important is the conversation around just the idea of theorizing about things and
Absolutely.
what we are allowed to talk about, what we're not allowed to talk about. I think this highlights free speech as an important issue in our culture today.
It's getting us thinking again on all sides.
We need to evaluate what information we consider and what information we don't consider and what we're taking from the media because they're clearly not telling us everything, and that's why we gotta investigate. So
Absolutely.
So I don't even think we should do a Crown It or Clown It this week. I think this is serious stuff. I really do. And as much as I've laughed today in this podcast with y'all, I feel like the shit is heavy and the climate is real and the air is thick. I need to breathe. So with that, I do send love to everyone because we need more love and unity in this world right now,
yes.
more than anything else. I really think I can't lose track of compassion, even if it's firm compassion, or even if you're like Hecklefish and you're a firm but fair ruler.
Yes, that is my cup of tea.
We still need the love, and so with that, I guess we can sign out.
Yep.
Until next time.